Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to hang out with me for a little under an hour to talk about the process to turn social media excitement into cold, hard cash. So let's just get into it, and we're going to do a really quick deep dive into how you can use all of this social media fueled popularity to make money for your business, organization, or brand. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see what I see. Perfect. So again, today the title of the training is Counting Dollars and Likes, How to Turn Social Media Excitement into Cold Hard Cash. Here's a little bit about me. I'm a marketing communication professional and entrepreneur. I run Denora Brands and Public Relations, which is an agency that blends media relations with smart digital strategy to create brands that inform and inspire the world. So basically, we help people tell the right story to the right people at the right time and on the right platforms. I also run the initiative called Live Your Brand, which is a movement to get more small business owners out of the ideation phase and into action. Um, and you can connect with me on Twitter and Facebook at Ash Northington and on Instagram and Snapchat at Ash Denor. And you can certainly join my Live Your Brand Facebook group where I share tips, information, and resources every day to help business owners, nonprofit leaders, brand builders grow. So, what we're going to review today, here's some of those key learning points that we're going to talk about. First, we're going to talk about how to leverage content, high quality content, to attract more sales and generate sales leads. Okay, how multicasting your content increases your potential to attract new sales leads, how to use digital tools to stay engaged with leads and convert leads into customers, and how leveraging social and digital media supports and increases sales opportunities. So we're just going to talk about how we use social media to sell. Okay? Perfect. So before we jump into that, I think there are a few pieces of information that we should really talk about. And the first is that renting media is out and owning media is in. So what does that mean? Owned media is any communication channel or platform that belongs to your brand. And that is something that you have complete control over. Is where you create and generate content and share it on a platform that you specifically manage yourself or for your organization. Paid content is anything that's paid for to drive traffic to your own media properties. You pay to boost your exposure through this specific channel. That's paid. That's like paying for a Facebook ad to boost your Facebook post. Earned media is when people speak about your brand or your product and they do it for you for free. You don't have to pay them anything. But the thing is, when we think about paid media, in the most basic sense of like buying a billboard or paying for a radio ad and only relying on that, that's out. That's not what you do in today's way to reach customers, because customers have so many choices, and because people are interested in only specific things, the shift is now to interest-based targeted marketing. And the way you do that is through high quality content, through owned media. But owned media just can't work on its own. Owned, paid, and earned have to work together to create buzz. Fact number 2 is that you should shift your focus. So traditionally, when we talk about social media properties, we think it's all about page likes. But it's not about page likes per se. It's really about engagement. And you can get a ton of engagement on your page without having millions or thousands even of people that like your content. It's really all about the number, the quality of the interactions with your content and with your pages. That's what you want to shoot for, not numbers. Fact number 3 is that you have to develop great content. Your content should help you close deals. Your content should all be created to help you sell things. If you're in business or if you're in an organization, at the end of the day, everyone has to make a dollar, right? And so all of your activities socially should help support this platform in one way. So I've got this graphic here, and I got it from one of my favorite channels, HubSpot. And so your content should help you turn strangers into visitors. And once they get to your visitors to your website, once they get to your website, you can collect their contact information. Once you do that, they become a lead. Then once you follow up with them, then they become, over time, they will become your customer. And then once you deliver great information, great services to them, they can promote your business for you. They'll say, oh, I had a great experience with Denora. You should go to them too. So your content should help you turn strangers to visitors, into leads, into customers, into promoters of your work, right? That's the basic process. Fact number 4 is that while digital media is all the rage, it cannot stand alone. So social media cannot work in a silo. Your website can't work in a silo. So when we talk about using these digital media platforms, remember that it has to work in tandem with your website, your blog, your email, events, and anything else you do online and in person. All of that should be integrated. So for example, if you go speak to an audience of people, you may want to mention that you have these social platforms that they can connect with you on. You might tell them that they could go to a table and sign up to get your email newsletter. You might have them go to a specific page on your website where they can download some free piece of content and get, their contact information in exchange for getting that whatever free tip sheet. So all of this stuff has to work together. And the most important thing for your social media platforms to do is to not have your audience stay on your Facebook page or on your Twitter account or on Instagram. Your social media platforms should be used to lead people back to the property that you owned. Because remember, you don't own Instagram, you don't own Facebook. Those are great tools to distribute your content to. There's great places to interact with people, but they can change the game and decide how your content is going to be distributed to them. You want to be using social to lead people back to the platform that you control, and that's your website. And so when they get to your website can't be pretty and dumb, right? So it can't just be this beautiful thing that people like to look at. It has to collect sales leads for you. So how do you do that? You do that through a little box that pops up and say, hey, would you like to sign up for our newsletter? Or a little box that pops up and says, hey, we've got this tip. You're reading this blog. We've got a tip sheet on this. Would you be interested in signing up and getting that free tip sheet? Okay, so once you do that, that's how your website can collect leads. And then once you get their email address or maybe their cell phone number, your follow-up communication should reinforce what's on your website and should further encourage people to do business with you. So all of this stuff works together. None of it is standalone. And fact number 5 is that this is a process. So when we talk about turning social media excitement into money, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen within the span of a week. Not in a few days. This takes time to really get this right. And the way that businesses do that is going to be different for each one. But you have to know it's a process. So let's talk about how our content goes from development to a sales lead to a customer. First, you have to develop your content outside of social media. So whatever it is, it could be a blog, it could be a tip sheet, this could be an ebook, it could be, a digital conference like DreamFest Digital. It could be whatever, but you have to develop that piece outside of social media. You have to publish that content or information about whatever that content is on a website. Then you have to tell people on your various social media platforms that that content is published on your website. Then you have to encourage people from social to go to that website. Once they land on that website, you have to give the people who want to consume that content an opportunity to give you their contact information in exchange to get another piece of content, or in exchange to get the piece of content that you broadcasted. So you have to do what they call an ethical bribe, where you give them this piece of content, you give them this tip sheet, this ebook, if they give you their cell phone number or their mailing address or their email address, or all three, or any combination of that. Okay. And then once you have their contact information, it's up to you to follow up. So then your follow-up communication nurtures that relationship. And once you nurture that relationship, at a certain point, you'll present your offer, and then you wait on the sale. Okay. So this is how the content goes from development to a lead to a sale. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this 12-step process to turn social media popularity into profitability, right? So let's go. Step number 1 is to know your niche. So what that means is only live in your strengths. So when you're developing your business and you have all these wonderful offerings, only offer stuff that you know you can deliver, and that you know a specific audience needs, and that you can do really, really well. So determine your strengths and offer products and services based on those. Live in your strengths. So whatever that is, stay in that lane. You'll never guess that when at one point in Denora, I used to plan weddings. Isn't that crazy? Because I am an awesome event planner. I know how to do logistics, but that's not really what I'm best at. That's not really in my zone of genius. So figure out what your zone of genius is and stay there. Okay, that's pretty easy. Step 2 is to know your customer. Okay, so not everyone is going to need your products and your services. What you have to do is to determine who needs your strengths, who needs the stuff that you create in your zone of genius. Those folks are your customers. Once you realize who your customers are, you have to learn those people inside and out. And because marketing is now interest-based, it's now compassion-based, you want to know what situation they're in right before they need your zone of genius. You want to know what they're going through that's going to cause them to need what you offer. Okay, so the best way to figure out who your target customer is to determine what type of person, what situation are they in, what are they going through, what do they need the most. You have to determine what group of people, what type of person, what type of business, what group of businesses, who is going to benefit the most from what you offer. And once you narrow down what type of person, individual, group, thing is going to benefit the most, that's going to lead you to who you should be targeting with your content. Okay? Then because you know your customer, right? Step 3 is to solve their problem. So they're going to be, every person that's going to purchase something from you is going to be in a specific type of situation before they need to purchase it. So whatever that problem is that you solve, whatever that pain or whatever that joy is, it could be a joy, whatever situation that they're in right before they need your services, I want you to create an offer that helps solve that problem, or that helps nurture whatever that joy is. Whatever the issue is, you solve it. So what you have to do is use the knowledge about your customer You take what you do as your strengths in your zone of genius and develop a special offering, a product, a service, a series of trainings. It could be whatever that's going to help your ideal customer make their life better. So whatever that offering is, okay, you have to publish information about that offering on a sales page on your website. And you have to tell on whatever this offer is after you develop it on this sales page, you have to tell people how they're going to benefit from this offer. You're going to have to tell them how they are going to be enriched, be better, solve their problem after they get this thing that you have, that you've developed, okay? That's based on your knowledge about the customer and based on your zone of genius and the things you create there. So develop that offering and then put information about that offering and how your ideal customer benefits from it on a page on your website, the media that you own, right? After you develop your offering, then it's time for you to develop your content. So what you want to do is create content that is meaningful to your audience and that's also related to your offering. For example, at Denora Brands and Public Relations, we have an offering called The Basics and we have an offering called The Works. And so what we do, those are digital strategy offerings. So we'll do stuff to help build a presence on social media that's going to help you engage with your audience. And then we might do a package in the works that's going to help you sell to your audience. And so we know all sorts of information about the types of businesses and organizations that best need that level of service. So the type of content that we're going to create that's related to that is a webinar like this one. We have an ebook called Turning Likes into Leads. We do social media 101 trainings. So those are the types of pieces of content that we have, so that relate to our offering. So we are offering these digital and social media packages, the basics and the works. Content that's related to that is going to tell people how they benefit from using social media. We have social media tip sheets that we give away for free. We've got ebooks and guides about social media. Does that make sense? So create content that is relevant to your audience and relates to your offering. After you create the content, then you have to publish that content in a specific place. You can use a platform like Lead Pages, like I do. You can publish it directly on your website. Either way, you have to publish it on a place where you control who gets to see it, how, and when, okay? So you publish that content on your website. So you put each piece of high value content on a landing page within your website or some other platform like Lead Pages or something. So you publish that content in a place. So if it's a blog post, you might just put it on your blog on your website. If it's an ebook, you might create a landing page that tells people about the ebook. If it's a training, you might create a landing page that tells people information about whatever that is, right? So publish that content on a very specific place. It could be, you could put all of the content there, or you could create a landing page that tells people, gives people more information about the content that you've produced. I'll give you an example of that at the end of this, okay? So then once you created the content and you've published it in a specific place, then you have to broadcast that content. So then it's your job. This is where the social media piece comes in. Then you go to Facebook, you go to Twitter, you go to Instagram, you go to the places where you know your target audience frequents, and then you broadcast the content there. The trick is to only broadcast on the social media platforms that your audience frequents. So if you don't think your audience is on Instagram a lot, based on your research, based on your observations, then it's not a smart idea for you to broadcast your content there. Don't tell people that you've got, go on Instagram and say, yeah, I've got this ebook, if your people are really on LinkedIn. So if they're on LinkedIn, then be on LinkedIn. If they're on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, then be in all three. But only broadcast on the platforms where you know your target audience shows up in droves. Not just Facebook because you like Facebook. Where is your target audience? And go there. Then here is the best part about it. Then it's your job to multicast the content. And so what multicasting means is that multicasting allows you to distribute one piece of content through multiple channels. Okay? So let's talk about an example of how you would do that. I like to take this example. So this webinar that we're doing right now, we're doing it live as a live cast. So you're getting this information live, right? I have also written a blog before that talks about these steps. So that's how I would blog about it. It's the same information, just a different platform. I've also gone to Twitter and tweeted each of these steps that I'm sharing with you right now. So that's how I've tweeted about it. I could also take each of these steps, each of these 12 steps, and make up a quote and share them on Instagram. I could also get on my podcast, the Live Your Brand Show, and talk about these steps. I could also take this presentation, this deck of slides that you have, and upload it to my SlideShare account because I know tons of people follow me on SlideShare. I could also go on Facebook because this stream is being recorded by YouTube. And I could share my YouTube link on Facebook. I could share it on LinkedIn. I could share the YouTube link on Twitter. I could also turn this stuff into an ebook. Oh, wait, I already have Turning Likes into Leads. It's the same type of information, same information. Information has not changed, but I deliver it differently based on the platform that I'm trying to place content on. So multicasting your content allows you to show up in many different places without having to create new content each time. It's like recycling information and prettying it up so that you can share it on multiple different platforms at different points in time. So always remember to multicast your content. When you multicast your content, it gives you the opportunity to reach more people. It's unlikely that all of your target audience is on one platform. So if you know they're on Facebook and you know they're on LinkedIn and you know that they're also on Instagram and maybe even Pinterest, it's a great idea for you to figure out how you're going to distribute that content specific to that network. Maybe on LinkedIn, you just share a blog post. Maybe on Facebook, you do a video. Maybe you do a Facebook live video and talk about it. Maybe you share your ebook information on Pinterest because you know that people like how-to stuff on Pinterest. So maybe you just share a whole bunch of quotes about it on Instagram. The opportunity to reach more of your target audience is larger when you multicast. And so since the carrot, the content, this high quality content, this ebook, this training series, whatever it is only accessible on your website, you're telling people about the content, but you're not giving it to them. And so when they get back to your website, they have to click on whatever you have on social media, and then it leads them back to your website. In this way, you accomplish two things. Number one, you get people to the platform you own. Number two, you give them an opportunity to learn more about what your business does. But here's the benefit. In exchange for accessing or downloading the content that was broadcasted on social media, potential customers have to exchange contact information with you in order to get it. So if it is an ebook and you tell people all about this ebook and what they're going to get, and you split it up in multiple different ways, in order to get that ebook, you have to give me your email address. So you get the benefit of the content that's in the ebook, and I get the benefit because I get to contact you later. And so when you do that, when you make that exchange, that's how you generate leads from social media using content. This is huge. So once you give people the content in exchange for their email, cell phone number, mailing address, or a combination of the three, then you've generated a sales lead. Then you know that you have an interested partner, an interested party in your content. They're interested in something that you do, and they're going to be most likely interested in your offer. Then after you get all of this contact, these new contacts, it's your job to say hello to your new friends. So don't just let them get your ebook or let them get your tip sheet or your infographic and then they go away and hide and they never hear from you again. No, we have to finish the process. So now it's up to you to contact your new friends. Say hello to them. So use those pieces of contact to follow up with them, to nurture their relationship. So you might continue to serve them with information that is going to help their lives be better. So if you get my ebook from me, then I might send you a blog post about it. I might send you a link to sign up for a training about it. I might ask you to get on a discovery call where we could talk about your social media needs. I'm going to say hello to you in a really big way so that we begin to build a relationship. And over time, I'm going to nurture the relationship. At a certain point, after I feel like I've sufficiently nurtured the relationship, I'm going to introduce my offering. So I don't just give them a piece of content and then the next day I say, ooh, here are my 2 digital strategy packages. No, I nurture the relationship by continuing to serve them with high value content, continuing to make their lives better. And then I say, hey, by the way, we've had this discovery call. I know that you're having this issue. I have these 2 packages. Would you be interested in it? So that's the point where you introduce the problem-solving offering that you created in step 3 to your new contacts. So you're going to rely on your continued interactions with these people that you've just met through multicasting your content all over the web to present them an offer. You're going to make them an offer. You're going to nurture the relationship, and then you're going to present them an offer. So, and they're going to be led to your sales page where they know that they can find out more about how it benefits them. So they got this content. You've continued to serve them with valuable information. Now you're telling them about something that you know that they're interested in, and they get to this sales page, and that's where they find out more about how you can help them, and they find out how they benefit from your help. Okay? So that's where they go to that sales page that we talked about in step 3. Okay? And then the sale is created in the follow-up. So after you present the offer, you can't just step away and leave it alone. You have to use that contact information. You might call them, email them, and you have to tell your target audience why they need your offering and very specifically how they benefit. So you might use case studies or testimonials to help them, or just case studies for sure, to show them how that they're going to benefit, how that they're going to change from doing business with you. Okay, so broadcast that stuff on social media too. And it might be helpful also to track your interactions with these new leads in a customer relationship management software system like HubSpot, like I use, or Insightly, or Salesforce. You may try, it's a number of CRM software systems out there. So find which one that works best for you. But you have to follow up with these people after you present the offer. And again, you see how email, website, social, all of that works together. It's not just one piece that stands alone. And then after you do that, then it's your job to close. And the beauty of this is that the right people are going to purchase from you. You're not going to have to hunt them down. They're going to come to you. They're going to find you after you present this offer and sufficiently followed up. And they're going to say, yes, I want to get this basic package or this package. So just close the deal. And then it's on you. Step 12 is to deliver. Just deliver what you said you were. You have to take this opportunity to give them what they paid for and then some. This is your time to shine. So by delivering them a great service and making sure they have a great customer experience, you have to treat them like royalty so that they go out and tell people about your services. Maybe they tag you in a Facebook post. Maybe they just tell people in person. Maybe they'll give you a testimonial to use in your next sales cycle. But this is the process, the 12-step process that is proven to turn social media excitement, popularity into sales leads, into customers, all through using high value content and making sure that all of these pieces, email, social, website, events, in-person interactions, phone calls, all of that works together to create this wonderful system that will certainly get you sales leads. Thank you for your time. And as always, if you have any questions, you can tweet me at Ash Northington. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I told you guys about an ebook. So I'm going to take you to this page. I'm going to share my screen again. And it is called Turning Likes into Leads. And so what I want you to do is just bit.ly/TLTI. Goodness, I don't know. I don't know my own URL, but it's Turning Likes into Leads. And this is the book. Do you know how to monetize your social media strategy? Discover the proven step-by-step process you need to convert popularity into profitability. It's basically the same system we just talked about today with a little bit more in-depth explanations. You're totally welcome to grab this. I'll post the link to it at the bottom of this video. But I want to thank you guys for chatting with me today. And I hope you guys got some great information. And I'll see you next time. Peace.